Have you ever wanted to know the difference between a supermarket and a butcher shop roast? Well, check this out. It's Butcher Jerd here today, and guys, we've got a cool one. So we've got something old school. We've got a Scotch Fillet getting rolled up. So at the moment, we're pulling it off the paddy whack. See that yellow thing there? We'll cut that in half later, but that is your knick-knack paddy whack, give a dog a bone. That's where it all came from, because you give these things to a dog and they are chewing them forever and a day. Not the best. So, look at this. Scotch Fillet. Nice. This is off a little body we're doing, little Angus body. And what we're going to do is we're going to roll it back in. Something you don't see much anymore. So we've got our back piece here. It's got a little bit of scapula in it. It's got the paddy whack. There's your paddy whack. Nice bit of yellow thing there. Sort of holds your head up. You don't have that. You don't have a neck, really. So let's get this scapula out. First thing we've got to do is we've got to run down along the top of it. Just running nice and flush, as flat as we can. It sort of curves up and then curves back down. And you see that black bit of the bone there? That black bit pretty much separates the bone from the cartilage. So the rest of what looks like bone beyond that is actually cartilage. So if you push too hard, you'll go straight through it. It's a good tip and trick so you don't put your hands in the way. If you put your hand underneath that and you cut through it, well, you cut your hand. So we don't want that. All right, what we'll do, we'll head underneath, heading up nice and close to that bone, peeling it as we go. Essentially what we're going to do is we're going to peel all this back, make one nice even layer of meat, and then roll our Scotch fillet back into the back of it once we trim it all up and even it out, and it's going to look absolutely majestic. We had probably, 5 or 6 of these on show today. Sold most of them. There was only 2 left when I left, and they look absolutely great. So we'll just clean it up. It's a bit of lean trim, that one there, which is actually a little bit of oyster blade, so that would actually probably be a really good steak in itself, but we scrapped it and threw it in the mince. Didn't think about that. That could have been my lunch. So I get a lot of comments on my knife. Carbon fiber, absolutely wicked sharp. They are a gorgeous knife, but you got to look after them. That's the thing. I think that's why they got banned in certain states, because if you don't look after your gear, they rust out, they get gross. Like you can get bacteria in your wood if you don't wash your stuff. I don't know, man. I see a lot of butchers with stainless knives and rubber handles that do not clean their shit day in, day out, and it is feral. I'd rather have something, I don't know, somewhat perishable, but I look after it and maintain it. I don't know, I feel like that's safer anyway. So, we've nearly cleaned this all up. I'm going to do our traditional butcher's knife. A lot of the old boys are going to bark up inside this video because this is primarily a stitching job. I don't know, I think stitching's outdated. I reckon stitching is just something people don't want in their roasts anymore. Like, the average person going into a butcher shop now is 30, 40 years old. A 30, 40-year-old is not going to know why the fuck there is string in the middle of their roast to hold it in place. You know what I mean? Like, it's just not a done thing anymore. So I don't know. I reckon if you do it nice and tight enough like this, it comes out mint. It doesn't fall apart when you cook it. It doesn't fall apart afterwards. It does the same job. So I don't know. Sometimes you got to ditch traditions and move with the times. Otherwise, you get left behind. That's as simple as it gets. So that's what we're doing. We're changing it up. We're doing the old school butchery with just a bit of a new twist. Just thinking for ourselves, it just seems to work for me. So, this knot, I've shown you before, I've shown you again, and I've shown you again. It's a real simple one. You go over and under, back around itself, and then you're pulling it nice and tight, and then to lock it in, you just wrap around a little beak and pull. So it's literally only a twist knot on itself, and then a twist knot on itself again, and then really use the same twist knot to lock it in. It's 3 of the same knot. It's really bloody simple. There's a few different ways, but I think this is probably the easiest way. So you go around all the strings and through, and then that tag, you do the single knot by itself. So you just wrap it around itself, and that's your tag that sort of locks it in. Once it hits the other knot, that's your lock in. And then you use the third one to hold it together. Super simple. Anyway, roast is nearly done. Looking pretty cool. Wait till you see the cross section. It is gorgeous, and if the 2 are still there when I get in tomorrow at 9:30, late start for me, got the kid drop. I'm going to be taking one home for dinner. Anyway, that's the video. You guys have a great day, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.